What's going on, everyone? Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. Tonight, we're going to dive deep into this EBT, this SNAP EBT situation. We are going to talk about where the money went. Who took this money? Is it legal to take the money? Is it illegal to take the money? We are also going to talk about the news and media outlets and how they're portraying this situation and how they're projecting this situation and what they want the population of America to see it as, and who they want to see as the face of this disaster. And then we're going to take a look at some hardcore statistics, actually from a government website, usgs.gov. And then we're going to hear from some of the people that are going through a very tough time because of this situation. And once we do that, we're going to talk some more. We're going to talk about the financial impact, and then we are going to provide a solution. So it's going to be a great night tonight. Make sure y'all click that like button. Make sure you share the video, okay? Make sure you click the like button. Make sure you share the video. It's going to be a good talk tonight. It's time to get a little snappy. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go in a little bit here because I don't like the way I see the mainstream media portraying this situation. I don't like the way that they're trying to put the face of this on a particular group of people. And I think the truth needs to be exposed. And but then at the end, we need to provide a solution to the problem. We need to provide a solution to the problem. And there's no way around it. There's no way that we're going to allow them to suffocate children, you know, in terms of hunger. There's no way we're going to allow them to starve these kids. 1 in 4 people on food stamps are kids. You know, and so these kids need to eat. Me being a child, being on food stamps, and knowing how important it is to have those food stamps to get food. And we're talking about on average in today's society, it's on average somewhere in the neighborhood of about $6 a day is what you're given. That's the average. Now, some people get more, some people get less, but it's about $6 a day. But we're going to go into this tonight. I think this is a real important talk. And I want to show some videos and some clips and some photos because I don't like the way that this situation is being portrayed. And I don't like the way that the illusion that's been put out there and this divide and conquer tactic that's been put out there and this derogatory stigma being put on brown-skinned people over this situation. So we're going to talk about this tonight. We're going to talk. Make sure y'all click this like button. Click that like button. Share this video. We need to get these numbers up because it's going to be a big talk tonight. Let me know in the live chat how many of y'all got the text message. Hopefully you got the text message tonight. I sent the text out from my new text number. My old text number was having some issues, so I sent out a text from my new text number. Hopefully you got that message with the link to this YouTube video tonight. All right, cool. Gia said, got it. Appreciate that. Thank you. That means I know it's going out. So let's get into this topic tonight. All right, it's going to get a little heated. I'm not going to lie to you because I'm pissed off, and it takes a lot for me to get pissed off. But I'm kind of pissed off right now, and I'm pissed off because I just don't like when the government and the mainstream media commit egregious acts against its own citizens and then make the use case why they've done this Black and brown people. That really gets to me. That really gets to me. And I'll tell you why. You know, we have it hard enough as it is. I remember being on Regina Meredith's show, Open Minds, back in probably 2018, 2019. I was on Regina Meredith. I've been on there a few times, but I remember probably one of the first or second interviews I did with Regina Meredith. Great interviewer, phenomenal host. Her show is on Gaia, probably one of the top talk shows on Gaia, if not the top talk show on Gaia. And I'll be back there with Regina again in January, recording a new episode. And I show up, as you all know, on a lot of these shows, I show up with a 3-piece suit on in most cases. In more current times, I've been a little bit more fashion forward with a really nice dress tee with a full blazer and dress slacks or dress jeans and fashion forward shoes. But that's more recent, just to fit into the style of the times. But if you go back to my older videos, you'll see I always show up with a 3-piece suit and Stacey Adams, shoes. And she said to me, Billy, I'm just wondering, why you always show up, to these interviews and everywhere I see you, you always got on a 3-piece suit. I've even seen you do a full 3-hour lecture in a hot tent outside in California at LA County Park in a 3-piece suit. And I said, because I have to. I actually have to. I said, and if you find this episode, you can look it up. I said, some of my counterparts that are not my color, they can come on these shows, and they do, with t-shirt and jeans and baseball caps. And they can speak on these great topics dealing with ancient civilizations, genetic modification of mankind, and all the things that I speak on, metaphysics and science and spirituality. They can speak on these fringe topics, and everyone will believe them, simply because of the color of their skin. It's just a fact. It's nothing to get offended about, because it doesn't offend me. I'm used to it because I was born into this. I was born black. It's just an absolute fact. And if you're not black and you're listening to the sound of my voice, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. I don't want you to get offended, and I don't want you to feel hurt. I don't want you to just go, oh my God, he's talking about race. No, I want you to finally sit down and listen to a person that's trying to explain something to you from the bottom of their heart. Everything that we do, we have to do extra. Everything that we do, we have to go above and beyond the call of duty to get even recognized. When I go on these shows, I told her I cannot show up in a t-shirt and jeans and a baseball cap like some of my counterparts. Because if I do, I'm instantaneously going to be put into a category of bullshit artist. I've already got to deal with trolls and haters when I'm already looking completely dressed and professional. Can you imagine if I did all these big time interviews and all these big time podcasts that I've been on in a t-shirt and a baseball cap and some cheap jeans and sometimes they come in shorts? There's no way in the world that I would be taken seriously. It's just an absolute fact. Case in point, 2024, I get pulled into an ambush of a debate, unknowingly what the situation was going to be. 2 white guys, one in the room with me, one on a video. In this scenario, I'm asked questions, which I actually answer correctly. But then they use word salad, and one guy in the video lies and says he has a book on his shelf that says differently, when in actuality, that book didn't say differently. Much later, a PhD and a doctor in Assyriology and theology contacted this young man and checked him, because they don't like people lying about, number one, the guy said he was a PhD in the video that I was in, and he wasn't a PhD. He lied about that. Everyone assumed he was right because he was white. Right? Because he's white. And everyone assumed that his word salad that he tried to use on me was correct because he was white. He lied the whole time. These real doctors in theology and Assyriology and theology made a video called Billy Carson Was Right. And they broke down that video step by step, and they showed where this young man actually lied. He lied his way all the way to Joe Rogan's podcast, and then he lied on Joe Rogan's podcast, and then he had to make an apology video. But why did they believe him? Nobody asked him to show his sources. Nobody told him to open the book, except for this doctor and Syriologist. And when they said, open the book and show us, because they have a copy of it, he said, yeah, well, I made that up. So why did everyone believe him, though? Nobody went and checked his sources. Nobody said, let me see if this guy's making this up. It didn't happen because he's white. And it's nothing to get offended about. This is nothing to get offended about. This is conditional programming that has gone on for eons within humanity. So for the past probably maybe 1,000 years, we have all been genetically programmed to accept this reality. They took a group of children, black children. This is a famous interview. I'd love to play it up here, but I don't want to get the copyright. You can look this up on YouTube. They took a group of black children, toddlers and up to like 7 years old, and they put them down. Some of you may have seen this video already. And this is a scientific psychological experiment. They put two dolls in front of them. They put a white doll, baby doll, and a black baby doll. And they asked these black children which doll was more beautiful. And they all picked the white doll. It's subconscious programming. And when they asked, why did you pick the white doll? They all said the same thing, because the black doll is ugly. That's what they said, because the black doll is ugly. You can look up this is a psychological experiment, social programming, subconscious programming. It's a real thing. These children had also been asked which doll is good and which doll is bad. The white doll, 100% was always good. And 100% of the case study, the black doll was always bad. These are children. So it shows you the power of subconscious programming coming off the television nonstop. From the time you're from the age of 1 to 7, you're programmed. You're programmed. Okay? You're programmed. And so this programming code, it shows you the power of how great it is. First of all, television is a broadcast. They're broadly casting a spell. And that spell that they're casting is a program code. And that code enters your consciousness and it begins to actually rewrite your coding in your body. And then your cells begin to celebrate to that frequency. And then you operate as the NPC running on that programming code that came from a broadcast, a broadly casted spell. That's what television actually is. Okay? That's what it is. And this programming is so intense and so strong that people of color that were snatched away from their country and lost direct connection to their roots, to their ancestors, to understanding who their family tree was, to understanding all the rituals and traditions of their generational bloodline going all the way back, and then snatched up and brought here and slapped upside the head with a whip and a Bible and said, this is your new God. If you look at every race on the planet, they have a God that looks like them, except for black people. We were given Caesar Borgia, who actually is a fake Jesus. He commissioned the artist to create him in the image of Jesus when he really wasn't Jesus. This guy was the son of a pope, a brutal killer, as a matter of fact. He killed his own brother. And so that's the face that people are praying to and worshiping. That's the face that we've been given and forced to worship and pray to. This subconscious programming, this indoctrination of dogma, and then it doesn't only just work on us, but it also works on everyone else. So everyone else is looking at black people like, you must be bad, you must be evil, you must be ugly, you must be this, you must be that. And so it creates this, without anyone really knowing that it's happening, it paints this picture about us and who we are. Everybody wants to be like us, but then at the same time, they, in some weird kind of way, discriminate against us. It's a very weird conundrum that I see us in I remember being a young man, a young child down in Opelika, in Miami, and my dad and my mom wanted to go pay the rent. So they put myself and my brother, my sister wasn't born yet, in the back of the car. We hop into this Ford Galaxy and we head on over to pay the rent on a hot summer's day. Now, the woman that we paid the rent to, she ran a wash house, which is like where you go to wash your clothes, right? So we go to the dry cleaner, and it's not really a dry cleaner, it's more like a wash house. We go there to pay the rent. And anyway, long story short, a police officer comes up and hits my dad in the back of the head with the butt of a rifle, knocks him down. He's got blood leaking down the side of his head. And then 3 other cops just jump on him and start pummeling him. And he's screaming, "What did I do? What did I do?" And then another cop walks up and goes, "Oh, it's not this nigger. It's the one down there." And then they just kind of got up and walked away. My mom's screaming, my brother's screaming, my mom's screaming. We're all crying, right? But again, we're not that far away from this. I'm not an ancient man. I'm not 2,000 years old. I'm trying to tell you that what's happening now is still happening, just in different ways. And they spread it now through media, through dogma, through systems, through orthodoxy, all these different methods they use to continue to try to push this narrative on the news. They always push what's going on in quote unquote inner cities. I want you to think about something right now. I want everyone who can hear my voice, I want you to think about something really deeply. I really want you to think about this, what I'm about to tell you. I really need you to think about this. Black people make up 15% of the population of the United States. Actually, technically 13.5% technically. We have an incredible amount of resilience. We are some of the strongest people to ever live in history in this current era. There have been others that have been enslaved before us in different races. Every race on the planet has been enslaved at one point. White people enslaving white people, black people enslaving black people. I mean, you name it, goes on and on. I don't care where you go, how far back you go in time, you're going to find slavery somewhere. It's just a fact of humanity for some weird ass reason. More recently, it's the black people. We are so strong and resilient, but yet we're only fighting ourselves in inner cities over scraps and resources. These battles that you see on the news are between small sects of the community nationwide that give you the perception that this is how all black people are. They're just wild, crazy people that want to kill each other. When in reality, the statistics that on usgs.gov tell a totally different story. If we were so crazed and evil and dark and aggressive, why haven't we taken over this country? Because we could have done it so easily. It would have been a piece of cake, an absolute walk in the park for black people to take over this country, if we really wanted to. The fact of the matter is, black people are some of the most loving, caring, and happy people in the world. We'll give you the shirt off of our backs. We'll accept you into our barbecue, so to speak. We'll love you as if you were our own. We will breastfeed your babies, which has been done. We'll care for you. This is something that isn't broadcast in the mainstream media. Some of the brightest minds on planet Earth, the majority of the inventions that we utilize today, including the internet, which I'm talking to you on, the Wi-Fi, which I'm talking to you on, which connects to the internet, computers, which I'm talking to you through, and so many other incredible inventions. Out of necessity, we created them, including the light bulbs over my head that are keeping me well lit so you can see my face. You need to understand that you've been programmed in a negative way. And whether you think you're racist or not, it doesn't matter. It's the subconscious coding that's back there that's operating just outside of your perception. And you don't even realize that it's happening. I'm being quite honest. I've got very close friends that are Caucasian. And I notice when they are doing things and saying things that they don't realize that it's actually offending me. And I can tell that they don't actually mean any harm. They aren't even aware that they're offending me. It's subconscious programming. I see it all over the place. I see it everywhere. And the media right now is full of this type of subconscious programming. Check this out.
Last 20 years, and we are just dumping $100 billion a year into a program that we all know is being so woefully corrupted and exploited. And people are selling their benefits. People are using them to get their nails done, to get their weaves and their hair. I mean, this is a really ugly program. It's weird to me to hear Josh Hawley screaming that we have to protect this and that we're not talking about why is it so ridiculously expensive and exploited, and what can we do to make it better?
I just provided my colleagues another one of my charts yesterday.
He said, see, here's the subconscious programming again. They're using it to get their nails done and their weave done. Well, who's mostly getting hair weaves? Well, obviously, mostly the Black community is getting hair weaves. It's some kind of a style that has been picked up and accepted and still going on currently today, because Black women like to mix up their hair and wear it various different styles, sometimes natural, sometimes unnatural styles. But he's throwing a jab, a butter knife jab at, again, Black people. And he's trying to make it sound as if we're the ones abusing the SNAP EBT benefits when we don't actually get the majority of the SNAP EBT benefits percentage-wise. We're actually a smaller percentage than another group of people. This is also what they're painting, picture they're painting on the media. Somebody is most likely in one of these higher levels is putting out a lot of these AI generated images and making posts on official mainstream accounts, mainstream news, and saying, batten down the hatches because this is what's coming now that EBT has been shut off. So they show a bunch of Mexicans or Hispanic people, or what look like maybe potentially immigrants, just destroying a store as if this is going to really happen. Come on, man. Stop falling for this bullshit. Let's take a look at what USDA.gov has to say. And the link is here in this video at the bottom, USDA.gov, fns.usda.gov/SNAP characteristics SNAP households. White, not Hispanic, 35%, 14.2 million people. Number one on the list. But they don't portray it that way. They portray it as if it's Mexicans and Black people abusing the system. African Americans, not Hispanic, 25%. And we only take up 13.5% of the population. So that's actually a skewed number. Hispanic, 15.6%. And those are documented Hispanic people, or actually Americans born here. Asian, not Hispanic, 3.9%. Native American, 1.3%. And multiple races not reported. These are all documented. These are all documented individuals. Matter of fact, undocumented individuals cannot get SNAP EBT, as has been portrayed on the news. Undocumented individuals cannot get SNAP EBT. The law was changed a while ago. They can't qualify. They cannot get approved. They cannot even get them. So what they're saying on the news is a bunch of bullshit. They're trying to make you think that Mexicans or and blacks are just it's using up billions of American tax dollars on SNAP EBT. It's not the case. It's not the case. Let's take a look here and hear some people who are really suffering from not getting these benefits, or going to be suffering from not getting these benefits.
Somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now, because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get.
She's obviously very distraught because she needs her SNAP benefits, and I get it. And at the end of this video, I'm going to provide a solution to this problem. And we're all going to participate in this solution. If you love humanity, you'll participate in this solution.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills.
President, I rise to encourage a yes vote on this resolution because this is a serious resolution. And I want to read some language from the federal government website. Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP. OMB's General Counsel provided a letter to USDA on May 23, 2025, stating that there is a bona fide need to obligate benefits for October, the first month of the fiscal year, during or prior to the month of September, thereby guaranteeing that benefit funds are available for program operations, even in the event of a government shutdown at the beginning of the fiscal year. This language goes on to say, to fulfill this congressional intent, it is necessary that a limited number of FNS employees be accepted from furlough to support program operations. These activities include, but are not limited to, program policy and operations, financial management, and stakeholder communications. It also says these multi-year contingency funds are also available to fund participant benefits in the event that the lapse occurs in the middle of the fiscal year. Make no mistake, there are years worth of funding available for the SNAP program, our tax dollars that we have already paid to the federal government to facilitate this program, and the Trump administration deleted this language from the website this morning.
Interesting. They deleted the language and deleted the money. The money is gone, y'all. That money is gone. I told y'all so many times over the years, stop believing in tricksters. I show you every 4 years I vote for myself. I put my own name on the ballot and drop it in the box. I ain't no damn Democrat or Republican. It's all about understanding how you become your own president of yourself and your family. And if we all took on that role, this planet would be totally different, because obviously nothing gets done right unless you do it yourself, period, point blank. The money that was available has been diverted. So they delay the payments to hold funds in the Treasury, then they shift them. If benefit disbursements are paused, money sits longer in the Treasury accounts or it's with an agency cash balance. A corrupt official, I'm not going to say who, might try to delay disbursement to free up the cash for some other short-term usage. Agencies can sometimes reprogram or transfer funds within accounts, but transfers between accounts usually require statutory authority, which they actually have. And a corrupt official, who I won't name, could illegally reclassify spending or force questionable reprogramming as to mask the diversion. That, my friends, is where your SNAP EBT money went. It's been diverted to a completely different project with no congressional oversight. Most likely, it's going to go to fund some illegal wars. And don't be surprised that this administration is doing that, because the Obama administration did it too. Obama and Hillary Clinton did the same damn thing. They just did it a little bit more slick. It wasn't as much in your face. They diverted billions of American tax dollars to have a private war in Sudan. I covered it. Nobody wanted to listen. Then they displaced 250,000 Sudanese people off their own land, because that's where the resources were located, utilizing the American military and your tax dollars. And those 250,000 men, women, and children died in the desert. And then they renamed the area that they took by force South Sudan. And they put American corporations there, of which they sat on the board of, and took a lot of that submarine money. This ain't a new game. It's the same old game being played just a slightly different way. It's the same old game being played in just a slightly different way. You see, there's also another effect. So they claim that by stopping these funds, they're going to save the country a lot of money. No, actually, this is going to cost the country billions of dollars. And your grocery bills are going to go up through the roof. This is going to cost billions of dollars. Billions, not millions, billions. It's destroying the supply chain. Every time a person goes and spends money from a fund that we funded into the grocery system using their SNAP EBT benefits, it's a domino effect. So that $1 goes in, but it magnifies over time, and it supports a supply chain all the way from the farm or the producer of the goods, all the way through manufacturing, if there is any, all the way to the trucking. We're talking about 18-wheel haulers, all the way down, of course, to the distribution center or the main warehouse. And then from there out to the actual individual stores, the grocery stores. And then from there, of course, you have the employees of those individual grocery stores. All of a sudden, when you snatch billions of dollars out of the economy like that overnight, you don't even like drop it in. When you snatch it overnight, you begin to destroy the entire economy instantly. This is an instant destruction. This is an instant economic destruction. Instant. You will see the effect of this extremely rapidly. Very rapidly. And you thought eggs were too much at $13. Eggs are about to be $20. Everything will go up. And a lot of people will get laid off. And a lot of the smaller grocery chains, some of them will actually close. Some of the people who drive the trucks won't get the gigs. They're going to go deeper into credit card debt. And some people will unalive themselves. This is actually what's happening.
are naive enough to think that the pause to SNAP benefits on November 1st isn't going to affect you because you don't receive food stamps, I want you to hear this. About 1 in 8 Americans receive SNAP benefits. In fact, in Oklahoma, where I live, that's 1 in 6 people. So about 600,000 people in my state alone, Oklahoma, receive SNAP benefits. About 1 in 4 children in the U.S. receive SNAP benefits. But you're not one of those people, so you don't care, but hang with me. When those benefits go away, just about $9 billion in grocery spending vanishes. So you've got to be thinking about not just the grocery stores being able to stay open and pay their employees, but you have to think about the entire supply chain, trucks on the road, people who provide food to these grocery stores. $9 billion. Every dollar spent in SNAP benefits adds about $1.50 to $1.80 to the economy. So cutting those benefits isn't saving that dollar, it's taking away that $1.50 to your local economy. But you don't receive SNAP benefits, you don't work for a grocery store, you don't drive a truck, you don't give a shit. But when all of those things happen, the only way to combat that is to drastically increase the price of groceries. Grocery prices are already up over 3% in 2025 alone, which is almost an entire percentage higher than the average increase in grocery prices over the last 20 years. I thought they were supposed to go down day one though. So even if SNAP benefits only pause for 1 month, which by the way would be detrimental to all the people I mentioned before that you don't give a shit about, it will cost the economy roughly $13 to $14 billion in profit. And you can expect your grocery prices in just that 1 month to go up at least 1%. And states will stand to lose about $300 to $500 million in sales tax revenue. So even if you do not receive SNAP benefits, you never have, you never will, you do not want these to be paused on November 1st.
Like sometimes you got to hear from the other mouth. You got to hear from the other skin tone, because then you believe it more. You won't believe me, but you'll believe that when it's the truth. I'm trying to tell you. This is an agenda, a multifaceted agenda. This is a multifaceted agenda. The first part of this agenda is to stifle the economy. And every angle and every decision that's been made since day one of this administration has been to create, divide, and conquer, and then to stifle the economy. It's being done on purpose. Let me ask you a question. What schools do these politricksters go to become senators and congressmen and presidents? Do you think they go to like the local JUCO? Do you think they like go to just high school and then drop out and then become a president or a congressman or a senator? They go to the top schools in the country, which happen to be some of the top schools in the world. They go get MBAs. They got business degrees. Well, let me ask you a question. I own a company. Some of y'all own companies. If you ran your company like this, would you still be in business? If you ran your company like this, would you still be free to walk around the streets, or would you be locked up already? Think about that for a minute. Would you be free to walk around the streets? Or would you already be locked up for fraud? How can your company even sustain if you were in trillions of dollars in debt? Obviously not. You'd be closed a long time ago. I'm just saying. So when you see that people go to school and university to learn how to run a business and get trained generationally how to run a business, and then they take over a business, the business called the United States of America, which is a corporation, and then they run it into the ground, well, then you have to come to the logical assumption it's being done on purpose. So stop being shocked. This is a long-term plan and a long-term goal that's being done right under your nose. They are collapsing the economy on purpose. This is not by accident. This is by accident on purpose. They're creating two classes, extremely impoverished and extremely wealthy. They're taking away the middle. They're wiping it completely clean. It was kind of fading, but now they're wiping it completely clean. Ultimately, They're looking to make this the United States of Israel. That's the ultimate goal. That's the actual ultimate goal, in my personal opinion. These tactics are on purpose. Destroying supply chains, destroying farms by snatching up all the workers. Farmers are going out of business like you wouldn't believe. The farmers that voted for this administration, they're all collapsing all around us. I live out here in this area where there's farms all over the place. They're all for sale. They're all closing down. Some of them are completely abandoned. Completely abandoned. Generational farms dying out. Overgrown. The tractors are sitting in the middle of the field with the stuff growing over them now. Somebody just bought one of them and built a new community. Well, they just built the first house in the community. I guess it's like a sample house or your model home. They cleared it out and brought the infrastructure in, and they have a model home there now. But everyone's going to be buying up these farms like crazy because there's nobody to farm them anymore. Farmers for generations are going out of business. The soybean farmers particularly, and there's a reason why they've been put out of business. That's who this administration targeted first. They targeted the workers at those particular farms because they have a side deal for soybeans somewhere else. So they collapsed the American soybean farmer on purpose so that they can profit off of those soybeans from another source, which they're doing already. It's so in your face, it eludes you.
Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Well, whatever you're thinking, you might be wrong. 42 million Americans could lose their grocery money on this Friday. Now, think about it this way. There's 348 million Americans, and about 42 million Americans are on SNAP, and that's about 12% of our population. About 1 in 8 Americans use SNAP benefits. Let's take a look at who they are. 40% of people on SNAP are children. 16 million kids rely on SNAP. 1.2 million veterans rely on SNAP. And here's something that's interesting. 22,000 active duty military families rely on SNAP. Yes, people actually serving our country rely on food stamps. 1.5 million college students are on SNAP, and 8 million seniors rely on SNAP to help them make ends meet. Now, you may have heard that people have said that illegal immigrants are using SNAP. That's not true. However, 1.5 million legal immigrants, like long-term green card holders, are on SNAP. Rules were changed in July, so people who are refugees or asylum seekers, they can't access SNAP anymore. And here's the kicker. About a third of SNAP households have someone who is working a job. They just aren't making enough money to make ends meet. How much do they get? Well, the average SNAP benefit is $188 a month. That means they have $6 a day for groceries. So this isn't getting cut because there's no money. There's a $6 billion emergency fund the government could use, but the Trump administration and the Republicans are against it. So when this hits on Friday, 42 million people, 1 in 8 Americans, children, veterans, seniors, active military families, will lose a safety net. And for some, it could be a lifeline. Food banks have already said they can't handle what's going to happen. In fact, no one can. Oh, you might be wondering, how much of our federal budget goes to SNAP? Well, it's only about 1.5% of the entire budget. That means $288 a year Americans pay to support people who need SNAP. So, do you know someone who is on SNAP? Are you on SNAP? Can you share your story? And do you think $288 a year is too much for us to be paying to support children, seniors, veterans, and active military families? Leave your comments below.
Well, there you have it. Again, now that you hear from somebody else's mouth. And these aren't just made up off the dome of my head. I'm talking real information here. And so we have to begin to realize what is really going on. And so, I told you that I was going to bring you some solutions to the problem. And there is a solution. I've been working on the solution and successfully launched this solution already, and it's doing great. The first thing I want you to know is every single one of us in this country that's not in politics, we need to come together and stop falling for the divide and conquer tactics. Stop falling for the brainwashing. Stop falling for the racism tactics. Stop falling for the blame game. Stop it. We're too old for this shit. And I'm not talking about old in age as a person age. I'm talking about old as a civilization. It's 2025. Stop being racist. It ain't a good look. Start realizing that all of us need each other, period. We all need each other. And the more that we think that we don't need each other, the worse things are going to get, because they got us fighting each other and hating each other and side-eyeing each other while they're just cutting up the pie and laughing their asses off. And I'm talking about all of them. Democrat, Republican. You think they're enemies? They love each other. They're in bed right now laying up, putting a mushroom tip in each other at this exact moment. Tell me they ain't. Tell me they ain't doing that right now at this exact moment. You think, listen, all these people are in the same bed together. You can't see it because the illusion is so great, it escapes your perception. You're falling for the theater, the grand theater. You're just a puppet in the show. And you don't even realize it. You're being controlled like a damn puppet. Now, I do have a solution, but it's going to take unity. It's going to take people coming together. It's going to take people making a commitment to help other people who they don't even know. If you have that kind of capability, that kind of power in you to override your programming code and help people, well, we have a solution. I built a free app, 100% free. It's called foodbankfinder.ai. Foodbankfinder.ai. And I'll drop the link in the live chat. And I'm going to demo this app for y'all. It's a web-based app, so you don't have to download it from anywhere. It didn't cost any money, and none of that money is coming to pay for anything what I'm doing. You guys are going to be going to food banks. What I did was I found a way to create an app after going and spending countless hours wasting my time scouring the streets and going to these banks, these food banks. All food banks aren't the same. They aren't all the same. Some of them have very specific and detailed rules. So I spent time going to 3 different places. I wasted about 3 hours of my life finding out I couldn't do what I needed to do with each one of them. One of them, they only help elderly. Okay, that's fine, but I'm trying to go somewhere where everyone can go to and pick up this food I'm trying to drop off. Another one that you go to, they're only taking people with certain benefits. Okay, I didn't know that existed. So now everybody can't walk in here and get them. Another place I went to, they don't accept food donations, only money donations. Like, okay, well, I just wasted my time coming over here too. I decided to go into the lab and build an app. It's called foodbankfinder.ai that would scour, utilizing AI-driven technology to scour the web, find out based on your zip code, your city, your state, or wherever you are, to find multiple sources for food banks, bring up all their information onto one screen, and allow you to very quickly and easily figure out which one you can work with the fastest. And if you decide that you want to make a financial donation to them, you can do that too, to them directly. But it saves so many countless hours and time. And what's good about this is it's going to require you to take some kind of action. If you want to manifest a different future, you have to follow my formula. Conscious thought multiplied by action equals manifestation. That means you're going to have the thought about wanting to help somebody. Then you have to take action and actually get up and get out of your chair, Get in your car, drive to the store, or maybe you have something in your cupboard, package it up, and then search on search on the app, foodbankfinder.ai. Find yourself a location after you make a few phone calls to verify that's exactly the one that's right for the needs that need to be met, and drop that off. If we all take part in this, nationwide, if we all go out here and drop off some food, people will be able to eat. I'm going to find let me pull up okay, here we go. Let me go to, I'm going to pull it up and show you how it works real quick. Coming from a person that grew up in a household that several holiday seasons didn't have anything to eat. Didn't have anything. Can you imagine not having anything to eat during the holidays? As a kid. That's something you don't want to imagine. This is foodbankfinder.ai. I dropped a link in the live chat. It's also in the caption of this video. You can type in your zip codes. I'll type in the zip code to my office. Click on search. Now it's going to compile the data and it's going to organize it in a very organized fashion that's easy to read and understand. It's 10 times better than Google. So it's now taken them, it creates the result, it puts it in a very clean and easy to read format, and it breaks down and connects all the links right here inside the app. So you're not confused of where you're going or what you're clicking on. Feeding South Florida. Okay, here's one right here. It's got the address, the phone number, the contact email. It tells you what they take: fresh goods, bulk donations, and volunteers. They all don't take those. You can call them by a click. You can email. You can go to their website. You can get directions on Google Maps, or you can donate money directly to them. When you click donate money, it goes directly to the source. And here's another one. Soref JCC We Care Food Pantry. Okay. Pantry of Broward, Jubilee Praise Ministry Pantry, Ease Foundation and Emergency Assistance. It makes it easy, concise, and clean. You can make a few phone calls and know exactly where you need to go instead of riding around like a chicken with your head cut off. Okay? And then at the bottom, you can actually share this. And I gamified sharing. So down here, you can see, look, Chilla Portilla already has 4 shares. She's at the top of the leaderboard. I created a quarterly leaderboard. So the more you share this, the higher you go on the leaderboard. And every single quarter, that means 4 times a year, I'm going to pick the person at the top of the leaderboard, and I'm going to send them a special gift for their participation, free of charge. You can share this information on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Instagram, email, and of course, you can copy the link and send it to anybody. So there's no excuse. Foodbankfinder.ai. Tomorrow, I'll be sending you some photos and videos of myself and my son, Justin, heading down to the food bank that we found on this app, dropping off food after I've already called and confirmed with them that they're the right place for the right job. And that'll be tomorrow. But again, if we all do something like this, if we all participate in this, and I gave you a cool, easy to use, totally free tool to make it so easy, you're not surfing over Google trying to figure out what's going on, trying to click on what links will work and try calling these. It organizes it, it makes it so simple, and it makes it so easy to share. It makes it so quick and so easy. And then you just got to carve out the time to go drop it off or have somebody drop it off for you. If we do this, we'll be able to help people that are in need, and we'll be able to feed kids that aren't going to get enough food this winter, as long as this foolishness persists. And even if they kick in this EBT towards the end of the month, the stores are going to be mostly empty because people are making a rush on the grocery stores now. So they're still going to have nothing to eat. Yeah. I remember getting donations from the church as a kid so I could have some damn food to eat for the holidays. I remember that. Like, I remember it so vividly. Like, I remember it so vividly. That's how we got our turkey that year. That's how we got the green beans and everything else. They were all canned foods, canned corn, canned green beans, you know, canned cranberry. I know that wasn't real cranberry, but it was in a can. And damn it, I had to eat it. It tasted damn good. Bread, we got bags of bread. My mom turned those bags of bread into stuffing using that canned cranberry, and she made some gravy because they gave packets of like powder, which turned into gravy when you add water. And then we also got powdered milk, which you add water to, because I got tired of eating cereal with water. I was eating Cheerios with water, and then and Frosted Flakes with water. And then we also got powdered eggs. Didn't taste the greatest, but let me tell you something. When you're hungry, you don't give a damn. You eat it, man. We eat it. I'm dropping the link again. Foodbankfinder.ai. I'm just asking everyone to just do something, man. Just do something. It don't have to be a lot. If you could only give them a couple of cans of food, that's going to cost you what? I don't know. $4 or $5. I don't know what a can of food costs anymore these days. But whatever it costs, I'm going to go to the grocery store tomorrow. Something I don't do. I'm going to a grocery store. I don't go to grocery store. I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow, and I'm going to buy some stuff. I haven't been to a grocery store like that in a long time. Have I gone in and like pick something up like a pack of gum or something? Yeah. But to go in there and actually go shopping? No. But I'm going to break through that comfort zone. I'm not doing that. And I'm going in tomorrow and I'm going to buy some food to take down to the food bank. And I'm asking everyone that can hear my voice, you're going to have to do something that might be out of your character. You're going to have to help somebody that you don't even know. You'll never see these people's faces. You'll never see these kids' faces. You'll never see the adults' faces. You don't know if they're white, black, brown, green, purple, yellow. You don't even know. And guess what? Who the hell cares, man? Who cares? For real? Just help somebody, man. Just do it. So, thank you, Praise 7. A lot of y'all donations I might have missed tonight. I appreciate them. Like I said, I got the link down there. Foodbankfinder.ai. It's in the caption of this video, the caption of this audio. I'm going to put the link in my bio. I haven't done it yet, but I'll do it after I get off this live. And hopefully people utilize it for the tool that it is, a tool that is a solution to a problem that can help people all over this country. I wish it can help people around the world, but at this particular moment, it can't. But right now, it can help people in this country. And because of the efforts of the people who have a little bit, we can make sure that the people who have nothing have something. And I don't care what color they are. I don't care if it's a white person eating the food that I bought. I don't care if it's a black person or a Spanish person or an indigenous American. I don't care. Because it doesn't matter. You see, one thing I'm so happy about with me, I didn't fall for the programming. I just didn't fall from day number one. I never fell for the programming. I never let them steal my soul and make me racist. Even when things happen to me from people from other races, even when I witnessed things happen to my family from other races, I still didn't let it trick me into becoming a racist. Now, will I defend my, my race against racism? Yes. Will I stand up for people being oppressed? Absolutely. But you can stand up for people being oppressed and not become a racist. And one of our 3-eye atlas didn't stop by and say hi. They looked down on this planet, man. They were like, damn, these people can't even feed themselves. What the hell are we going to do? They're going to eat us. Anyway, you saw the stats. It's not just black people and Mexican people getting food stamps. The majority of people getting food stamps are white. They make up the majority on SNAP EBT. And with that being said, black people who hear my voice, when you go buy this food and drop it off at the food bank, it might be white people eating that food. Don't worry about that. Just go get it. Don't worry about how come they don't got a job, or how come they're not working harder as I am and all. Don't worry about that. We can't psychoanalyze each individual's person's situation. We can't perceive how they grew up, what conditions they were in. We can't perceive what programming code they've been susceptible to and how they weren't able to change their own programming code. We can't perceive what type of disabilities, mental or physical, a person might even have. We can't perceive. Stop overthinking everything. Simply just help and let the chips fall where they may. That's how we're supposed to act. Put positive energy out into the universe. I guarantee a boomerang will come back of positive energy. The universe is a mirror. It's going to be a reflection of who you are. And what people don't realize is the way this universe is set up. One small action that you do here, the smallest thing that you would think is insignificant in this third dimension, will affect the entire universe. Every decision we act on here on Earth has a butterfly effect. It just doesn't stay on Earth. It affects the entire universe and up through every individual dimension that exists. We're impacting realms with our own thoughts and actions. So, stop playing around. Stop falling for the tricks. At some point, we have to wake up as a species and realize we've been pimped. We've been mind pimped at the highest level. They have utilized the highest form of applied neuroscience on mankind, and they are laughing. I'm talking about deep, gut-wrenching laughs at us. And they're just cutting up the pie. And we're talking blue state, red state, and I'm this religion and that religion, you're that religion, and I'm this skin tone and you're that skin tone. Your skin reflects the sun differently than my skin reflects the sun, so I hate you. We gotta do better. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys.
If there were any one period in time one would desire to be born in,
I became a master.
Imagined scenario for a real.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. In a world built to keep you asleep, a few are born with the fire to remember. And there comes a moment in every soul's journey where the illusion cracks, when the truth is no longer just a whisper in your dreams, but a roaring fire in your spirit. On November the 8th, in the heart of Los Angeles and on live stream, I'll be joined by my brothers Mike Rashid King and Robert Edward Grant, warriors of the mind, body, and soul. This is Manifest Destiny 2025, a gathering of warriors, seekers, and creators of the new earth. You'll leave with tools, you will leave with family, and most of all, you'll leave with the God frequency to change your life and the world around you. And there's only 800 seats available in person, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to manifestdestiny2025.com and get your tickets today.